to function at speed. And speed in the National Football League gets increasingly more as you move up the ladder as far as the game situations. And so right now, yeah, you've got to start taking chances. And you find out because the guys on the defensive side of it, we're still talking quarterbacks and making throws right now. They're trying to make the team too. Mm-hmm. And so that's where it is.
So, Coach Mack, we're not used to seeing guys like the King in OTAs, but we are used to seeing him with his workouts posted on social media, and we always scratching our head like, man, how does this guy keep doing it? What is that shadowing process going when you talk about staying up to speed for guys like Tajay Spears and Haskins in year 2, being able to watch Derrick Henry up close and kind of shadow him, what he's doing? What is that tone setting like?
Well, look, I experienced it when I first came in the league, watching young running backs try to emulate Walter Payton's workout.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Walter Payton was historic with his workouts. The hill he built behind his home, mm-hmm. There, so that so anyway, but the young players learn that, and they start to see, but really, Ron, you can relate to this. They really don't understand the importance of it until they get into that first year.
Yep.
They get into that first year and all of a sudden they see, whoa, these guys are moving a lot faster than me, and their staying power is a lot more than I am. I better figure out what they're doing to prepare for this. Mm-hmm. Because you can watch it, and really you can watch it and you can be in awe of it all you want, but until you experience what it does for you, that's when it really sinks into all of these young players.
Yeah, and it's so hard to not try to mimic them and try to figure out your own way, because your way is going to work. Like following them as far as the foundation of what they're laying, yes, do that, but you're going to have to figure out your own way in it, and you can only do that through experience.
Yeah, and you don't have to mimic what they do exactly, but what you can mimic is the work ethic part of it. Mm-hmm. That's the work ethic and the effort part of it, and you're 100% right. All of these guys finally, and I've coached a lot of guys during all of my years in this league, and they all found a certain way that they could do things that would benefit them, and because everybody's body is different, but there's a baseline you have to get, but you cannot get away from the work ethic that goes into it.
Absolutely.
And so if you're not all in, you're not in. That's just the way it is in this league.
How different does Traylon Burks look from this time last year? Like, I'm just curious. I'm curious about the growth from year 1 to year 2.
A lot. I mean, and look, he's a guy that figured it out. He immediately when the season – look, Traylon Burks was starting to accelerate a little bit until he had his face broken, on the catch that he made and held on to it. So that was a plus. But
was that medical terminology you just used?
That's how it shows on the injury report.
Remember when Anquan Boldin got his face completely broken but held on to the ball?
Yeah,
I mean, you got to be a special dude to do that. But anyway, that's a true combat catch. But anyway, just the way that he approached his off season, he knew. I mean, he asked for help, and then he was here the whole time. I talked to Rob Moore today because, Rob and I are very close because he played for me for quite a few years there in Arizona, and he's one of the better receiver coaches in the league now because he was one of the better receiver work ethic technique guys. All of that being said, I just asked him, I said, how does he look? He said, Mac, completely different. And he does, because I'm just watching him. And I mean, but the thing that I can see just watching him, and again, the technical aspects of it, I mean, that's, he's working on that every day that you look at. But you can tell finally when an athlete takes a step up as far as in confidence in what he's doing.
Yep. You
can kind of see that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I like to hear that.
Yeah, I do too. Wide receiver 1.
What will DeAndre Hopkins give his next team?
Well, Hopkins is, and I didn't watch Hopkins at Arizona. He didn't play much there to begin with. I didn't watch him. I haven't watched him. I can give you my assessment when he was playing the Titans when he was down in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he was one of the hardest covers in the league at that time because of this. He's not an oversized guy. He's not extremely, a speed guy. but he's a nuanced route runner. He's extremely wiry and physical, and he's got two hands that are like bear traps on the end of his wrist. And you cannot a combat catch, even if you've got your hand in the basket or if you can't get the ball away from him. That's why they would throw so many of those intermediate and crossing routes to him and those quick outs and over there, because I mean it was like the ball disappeared between he's got massive strength in those mitts. Unbelievable, really. And that's where his success was. And plus he just was physically tough. Now, how much of the years eroded, some of the movement stuff? I haven't studied him. I haven't watched him. But I know that the years don't erode your hand strength. And so, I mean, that was the thing that always stood out to me about him is, studying him, doing broadcasts, getting ready to see the opponent was, wow, this guy with a combat catch, if it's anywhere near, regardless of whether you've got him covered and got the hand between the basket, he'll just eat up your hand and the ball at the same time with those two mitts. I mean, that's his strength, and that's what's made him the receiver that he has been.
Will he be a Titan?
I know how would I know that?
Come on, Coach Mike, you know everything.
How would I know that? Well, I know a lot that I don't talk about, but I don't know everything.
Would you want him to join this Titans receiving corps?
Well, a lot of that depends on how much money he wants.
Right.
I mean, this team isn't overloaded with cap space right now, and I think that the Cardinals cut him because his contract was $20 million. Am I correct?
Yeah, they took a 22-point-something million hit. Dead cap.
I mean, that's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay, and so, I mean, it depends on what he wants and how much of a training camp he wants to go to. I mean, there are a lot of permutating factors when veterans like that are released, especially this time of year. So to answer your question, Don, I got no clue on that.
How much do those joint practices help? They were talking about the Minnesota and New England.
Lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Yeah, they're going to practice against Minnesota. They've already said that.
Yeah.
We'll go up early and practice. I think when we went down to Tampa Bay, what did we do? Flew in on Monday and we worked Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday against them. And then the Friday was separate, and then play the game on Saturday. That's normally what you do when you're a traveling team to work with somebody, in a joint practice during training camp. So that would probably be some of the similarities, but it's massive. And as I say, in the progress of teaching your young players, it's huge because they get used to, as much as they were in awe of their own veterans when they came in, they get used to working against them. Yeah. But then you put somebody else out there with a different colored jersey, and then those eyes get a little bit wider. And so you find out a little bit more about them. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, it's extremely, extremely valuable for the development of your players. And also it's extremely valuable for your coaches and your scouts as far as evaluating how quickly guys are coming around.
There's been a lot of talk about this Tim Kelly offense, and people are talking about pace and speed and efficiency. And Ryan Tannehill talked about today the efficiency in and out of the huddle puts pressure on defenses. I am curious and anxious to see what that looks like.
Yeah, me too, Brett. And again, you can't tell much about that right now because they're working at pace, but they're working at pace, so that both sides of the ball get used to pace. And so we will find out more about that as this thing starts to evolve because they're still installing right now. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I mean, they're still installing and learning. So I think that we will see the real pace when we start to get later on in training camp and then especially get into those preseason games where now, you've got everything in, you've got some game plan specific things you're going to do, even though you don't game plan preseason, at least you've got some base things that you're going to do, but you're doing them at speed against another opponent. All of that stuff will evolve. But the fact that a veteran quarterback is talking about that, clearly there's a different mindset going into it.
Mm-hmm.
Laura and Karen in our chat are nervous about the whole KB situation. Kevin Byard.
June 6th through the 8th.
I know who you mean. I know you didn't mean Keith Bullock because you don't have to be nervous about KB. I've been with him lately. He's doing fine.
So is his coffee shop.
I can report that Keith Bullock and I did a photo shoot for Taste of Tennessee.
Nice.
With Javon Curse, and I mean, it was really good. It'll be really good. It'll be
Look
fun.
at those legends.
I can report that Keith Bullock's doing really well. I can report that. Yeah, I do know how that KB is doing. Look, this is the National Football League, but this is a veteran player that has been successful, and these are voluntary workouts, and so that situation will work itself out. But that situation to me is something that has to go. But when you got a veteran player like that, I've been involved in it when I was a coach. There's a different conversation you have with a veteran player rather than when you have a rookie player coming in that is, say, not in condition and doesn't know what's going on. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kevin Byard that's at another level, and so I wouldn't be worrying myself a whole lot about that right now, because I promise you it's important to both parties.
So add more powder.
Well, yes. I mean, it to me, the thing that I try to do, and I think I've done a decent job all these years on the airways, is just everybody just calming their nerves a little bit, because I'm going to tell you the truth. And the truth is right now, I learned that real early in my coaching career, because if I started worrying about a lot of things in my young coaching career that I couldn't control, I wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't, because I'd have spun up and disappeared within myself. So just powder dry, gang.
Love it. Good stuff, Coach Mack. Appreciate the time. We'll talk with you next Wednesday.
PDG, baby.
See you guys.
All right,
See
there
you.
it is.
See you, Coach.
See you.
Coach Mack, there you go. When we come back, Tennessee basketball gets a huge surprise today. That's next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Go up to Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle, car, truck, SUV, Jeep, whatever you're looking for. They'll be able to help you out. New or pre-owned. My friends at Gupton are ready for you. There will be no pressure on you when you go see them. They simply want what you want, you in the vehicle that's right for you. So go take your test drive, go inside. They'll help make the numbers work, and it'll be that easy. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville. Take 24 West or Clarksville. Exit 35 and a straight shot into Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. You can check them out online right now while you pretend to work. GuptonMotors.com is the website. All of the dealership information is there. All of the inventory is there. GuptonMotors.com. Tons of Jeeps on the lot. If you're in the market for a new Jeep, they will have you covered there. Again, cars, trucks, SUVs, Jeeps, whatever you need, they'll be able to help you out. Gupton Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, 3450 Tom Austin Highway in beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com. 3HL 1045 The Zone. A lot of assistant coaches talking after practice today. We got some of that for you coming up at 4 o'clock.
What'd I say, y'all?
About things.
About stuff.
Oh.
Got some SEC spring meetings, bits of news and comments.
What'd they say?
Coming out of there. They said things.
About stuff.
What is it? What?
A lot of SEC power
Y'all
in
teasing me.
Some things.
Y'all are teasing me.
A lot of SEC power in the college baseball regionals, which have been announced. I'll go ahead and tell you this. There are 16 regionals. 8 of the 16 regionals are being hosted by SEC teams.
Hey, I'll let you know where we at.
I mean, think about that.
Just me
Just
more.
Six of those 8 are projected to even go to Omaha.
Oh, my goodness. So we'll get to all that and more. Also, we told you about Robert De Niro fathering a child at the age of 79. We told you that last week.
Shout out to the octogenarians.
Yeah. He's not quite
Well, not
there.
yet,
He's almost
but-
there. But the next guy just one-upped him. And we'll tell you about that.
What?
One-upped him.
Ugh.
It's one of his cohorts. I mean, he's in the same, realm.
Oh, they had, yeah.
They've been in a lot of films together.
Yeah, a lot of beef together, too.
Heat.
Oh. They better not try to mess with Martha. Leave her alone. I'll tell you that.
Surprising news today for the Tennessee basketball program.
Talk to us, y'all. Come on.
Josiah Jordan-James announced that he will return for a final season.
Oh.
It really feels like a lot of people were really genuinely surprised by this decision.
Yeah.
Had you heard any rumblings about this?
Rumblings, but the rumblings didn't mean anything to me until you heard something. Because you look at it, man, and then these COVID year guys, you don't really know, especially for a guy that's been on the radar since high school. Like, he was a McDonald's All-American. Like, I would love to know the list of McDonald's All-Americans that will come back for a 6-year. Like, that just don't happen. I'm sorry. Or maybe his is 5th because I don't
Part of
think
me was started immediately when I saw that story. Part of me wondered if you talked to him. Because you talk all the time about, man, if I could have had one more year at Tennessee, I would have traded that for a professional season.
And see, I think with his situation and a lot of these guys' situations, when you have so much uncertainty about where your pro career is headed, and I think that's where he is, because let's just be honest, he wasn't getting drafted.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
even
what I was
being
going to
on
say.
boards.
Why'd he come back?
Yeah,
Right, what is he?
It's got to be to increase your stock. Now, with it being positionless basketball and him being able to guard multiple positions and play on multiple positions, the thing is, though, in his case, is health. Like, you got to show that you're available. Now you're going to take another year. So hopefully this year he can show he's available for every game. It's a different style of practice in college than it is in pro. Pro is way more relaxed than it is in college. College, you on the go. Like, that's real. Honestly, you got to tip your cap to guys that are 23, 24 years old in college doing college practices. Like, that's a different man, give me pro all day. Let me go do my own thing. Let me go out here for practice for an hour and a half, play pickup, go through the drills, this, that, and the other, then let me go sharpen my skills and then work on my body. College? Man, you running lines, you sprinting for no apparent reason. Like, it's like
No apparent reason.
Yeah, you just out here just running. Like, no, man. So, I mean, kudos to him.
And whatever that level is, Rick Barnes is 10 times that.
Even more. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like, you can kind of understand why his body would break down.
Is
Fulkerson
Rick
did the
Barnes
same
going
thing.
to have to step back? Not step back. That's a bad word to use.
No.
He's going to have to
I understand what you're saying.
lower the physical
Intensity.
Yeah, the intensity bar. Yeah.
Yes.
If he does, this is my only thing about that, Babs. If he does, he'll be stepping out of the way. That's how I feel. Because what else does he know? What's worked for him is what I'm asking.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, everybody that
But
has been to that point.
will it still work? Does it still work? It's a different game.
It has. It has changed, Babsy. And to your point, everybody else that thought about reducing what they brought to practices as far as intensity and everything else has stepped away. Everybody else, I can't do it. I can't get the same.
Or we're pushed away.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Intently or not, or unintentionally. Like, it's those guys have a different kid that they are training and coaching, and if you push too hard, they leave. The kids with the transfer portal. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
If you don't push enough, you're not getting the player development where they can get to the next level. So they leave. Like, what do you stay for? Like, it's amazing, man. I tell you one thing. He got to deliver. Josiah Jordan-James has to deliver. Like, the pressure is on him. Santi came back. The pressure ain't on Santi. The pressure's on Josiah
And
Jordan-James.
they just brought two guys in, too.
And then you got those guys
From that wing
behind
spot.
him that's
Yeah,
developing,
what I'm
that's right there chomping at the Meshack. This is supposed to be Meshack time. DJ Jefferson is supposed to be his time. The young fella Cam Carr is supposed to be his time. JP Estrella is supposed to be his time. Now they got to kind of scoot back a little bit, like, and watch what Josiah going to do.
He even talked about that. He said, like, I knew that they had to fill this roster based on me not being here. So, he basically said, I know what I'm up against and all these things. But averaged 10 points and 5 boards per game last year. Did miss, 11 games, something like that. Tennessee now has 14 players on scholarship, one over the limit of 13.
Yeah, so somebody, we need some NIL deals or do something. Somebody make something happen.
Yeah,
somebody something.
That is a possibility that somebody goes walk on and gets NIL money.
Yeah.
But I would argue, scholarship plus NIL money, like what?
Yeah, let's
Well,
make it happen.
isn't there a possibility that somebody decides to leave?
Definitely
too?
true.
Because
Definitely true.
And does this decision affect it? I don't know how deep that roster is.
Right.
True.
So the transfer portal
I mean, I don't
is
know
closed.
the deeper part of the roster.
But they're saying that Tennessee could get somebody in by signing a waiver and whatever. So, I mean, be interesting to see how they manipulate that part of the deal. When we come back, we'll start to hear from some of the Titans players that spoke today. Will Levis, Ryan Tannehill. Mike Vrabel also spoke. Run game coordinator, running backs coach Justin Alton spoke as well. That's coming up next, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Hey. Well, hello everyone out there and listening to our voices right now. You hot or you cold? Which one are you? Well, let me go on and add into you. Babsy just told us it was cold in the studio, so she went outside. If you go outside and then you walk into your home and it's hot, well, you need to call SpringHillAC.com because your HVAC is not working, people. If you got sweat beads on your forehead when you wake up in the morning, your HVAC is not working, and you need to hit SpringHillAC.com, Babs.
Yes, especially when it's sunny out. Ooh.
Come on now.
Here's the deal with Spring Hill Heating and Cooling. They deliver all the services that big corporate guy offers, but they do it with the delivery and the friendliness of family. And
Family.
yeah,
Family.
They're known for, we talk about family. They're known for their customer service, and obviously there's a reason. It's not a company reputation that they can hide behind. It's their family reputation.
And that's beautiful to see. And we know it because we've dined and broke bread with their family, and they treat us like family.
We're family now.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to dive in and get this same opportunity. SpringHillAC.com/careers.
Oh, yeah, they're hiring.
Yeah, they're most definitely hiring. Dive into it. Call them.
SpringHillAC.com.
Call them.
Good afternoon from the Superbook.com sports desk. I'm Joe Hunk. Some Titans were not at OTAs today. Kevin Byard, you're going to hear a lot about him over the course of the next few days. Harold Landry, Amani Hooker, Dylan Radins, as well as Danico Autry were all absent. Now, the Tennessee Vols got some good news basketball-wise as Josiah Jordan-James is going to be returning to the team. Fun fact, team actually already has 13 scholarship spots allocated for next season, so if James does come back at the moment, he'll be coming back as a walk-on. And Vanderbilt Baseball announced that they're going to be renovating Hawkins Field, including opera-style boxes. They're adding a secondary deck on the third baseline and adding over 3,700 seats to the stadium. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Vols, the flagship station for your Tennessee Titans, as well as home to 3HL. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Hope you're having a great Wednesday.
Up day.
Thank you, Slay Dog.
Welcome, y'all.
Dude, day after tomorrow is Friday. We're already there. Look at that. That's some quick math.
I missed 2 meetings this morning because I thought today was still Tuesday.
Really?
Was it Todd
Slay?
Furman's podcast?
No, I wish I would have been on it, though.
That happened before.
Oh, yeah, that show did. They need me.
They need you on that wall.
Yep.
3HL presented by Spring Hill Heating and Cooling, SpringHillAC.com. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Although we're having some issues with the YouTube portion of the feed. It completely crashed once, started all the numbers. Everybody had to jump back in.
It looks like it's freezing
It
now.
looks like it's freezing.
It's doing the jerk.
It's freezing just like
You a
me.
jerk. You a jerk.
It looks like it's doing it again. Yes, that's true. But the chat is brought to you by F&M Bank, whether you get frozen in there or not. I hope you're okay if you're frozen in the chat.
You just go into the savings account of the chat.
We appreciate new Nashville Predators head coach Andrew Burnett for joining us at the beginning of the show. If you missed that, you can go back and listen to the podcast where you get your podcast, rate, review, subscribe to the 3HL podcast, 1045thezone.com. Jeremy on YouTube. I went back and listened to the interview you guys had with Andrew Burnett. Really excited for what he can bring to the Preds. I mean, the guy, think about this situation. You jump in as an interim coach. You win the President's Trophy. That's the best record in the NHL as an interim coach. Now, they had the pieces, I guess, because they're in the Stanley Cup final right now. But he told us that was tough, not getting that job because he felt like he deserved it. I'm inserting that part of it. But that's why it would be tough, right?
I don't know why he didn't feel like he deserved it.
Exactly. And then we had Coach Mack on. We talked about Tennessee basketball, Josiah Jordan-James going back to Tennessee. And now we're going to go back to the Titans. Before we do that, she is Dawn Davenport.
Hi.
Hey, Babsy.
With her pink headphones.
That's bunk. That's bunk. Twitch, please. Twitch, please. Twitch, please.
You know, nobody has stolen my headphones since I went pink.
Yeah, that was smart.
Nobody.
Good job by you,
As
Babsy.
far as you know. Maybe they use them and put them back.
Gross. Stop.
Got the tank top on today?
Yeah, I know,
Guns
and
out.
I'm shivering.
Here go
Guns
the
out,
jacket.
fun's out.
Little jacket right here.
Is that yours?
I don't know whose jacket it is.
I keep like a pullover in my backpack in case I get cold in here. Why don't you do that?
I used to keep a Snuggie in here. Remember Snuggie?
Yes.
Like the as seen on TV thing?
Yes, I forgot about that. Did Sally Struthers sell you that?
I don't know. I had an Auburn one.
Is Sally Struthers still with us?
I have no idea.
Who is that?
I don't know.
She used to sell all the as seen on TV things.
Oh, like
And-
QVC.
She was on, what was that show? Dang it. All in the
All
Family.
in the Family.
Yeah.
And she is alive, so good job on you.
All
the
right.
streak is broken.
All right. She is 75 years old, living in Portland, Oregon. Congratulations to Sally Struthers. Still
What
alive.
up, Sally?
Look her up at some point. He is Ron Slay.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building. Hey, I'm in the building. I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
I'm in the building.
I'm in the building. I'm in the building.
You know what, man? I've been blown away since yesterday.
By what?
Listening to those those young athletes, man, speaking, man, that. I know the world evolves, and I know they got more access to things. I just always think back to me when I was 17. I wasn't that polished. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to have a good conversation with you and everything.
That's what Shannon Terry said. He's like, I mean, these guys are – I was like 42 before I was this mature.
Dog. Like, that was – wow. Like, I had a switch that I was able to turn on and off even at a young age. But, man, that was pretty good. Like – that was all right, man. Had some priorities in place. That's pretty good. And let me add this. It was really
it's still going on today. The On3 Elite NIL deal.
That's even dope. I was gonna say Shannon Terry, when he said that the kids, when they let them know that, man, we got more than just one parent coming. So to know that some of these kids are not coming just from single-parent households and it's two parents involved, that's great to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, kudos to that, man. Like, so good job, parents. Pats on the back.
Good job.
Laura says if Sally Struthers is still with us, she'll probably die tomorrow. Goodness.
Damn, Laura.
Well, Brent.
How old is she? Oh, yeah, because Yoral said it.
Yoral has a...
Well, we'll holler. Hey.
She's 75.
Peace.
She'll be 76 in July 28th.
Oh, she got a couple more years.
Struthers has been a spokesperson for International Correspondence School in television ads, pitching the famous line, "Do you want to make more money? Sure, we all do." You remember seeing that, don't you?
Do you want to make more money? Sure. No. What was it on? A commercial?
Oh, all the time.
Really?
All the time.
What commercial was it, though?
What I just said.
Do you want to make more money? Well, sure, we all do.
Yeah, go to the school.
Oh. Like DeVry?
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Something like that, yeah. That's the same type thing.
That's be on BET Uncut late night.
Yeah. Late night TV. Game
Oh,
shows,
she was
stuff.
late night?
Oh, yeah.
Was she like up all night? Like off USA?
I don't know. You know, it's like you would
That
see
was my
ads
girl
from,
on there.
you'd see Sally Struthers, then you'd see Dionne Warwick. And then,
Oh, yeah. She was a psychic.
Slade, would you like to hear a piece?
Was she a psychic?
No.
Do you want to make more money? Sure, we all do. So call this free number to find out how easy it is to train at home for a better career. At ICS, more than 10 million men and
Okay,
women.
cut off. Why she come on with that little bitty voice at night? That's
That
scary.
little bitty voice.
Dude, like what?
By the way, this commercial is over a minute and a half long of her talking about ICS.
Was she little?
Yeah, she's she's short.
That is a voice.
She's little
on
one
her.
way, not the other.
Okay, Hunk.
Oh!
I missed it.
Y'all are cracking me
He
up.
said she's little one way, not the other.
Oh,
I'm sorry, you can hear him cackling through the grass.
I'm laughing because I see it clicking in your heads when it picks up in your mind.
I'm still trying to go get it.
Slay still didn't get
Still
it.
trying to go find
She's
it.
short
yeah.
in height.
Horizontally, but not width-wise.
No, horizontal is width.
Okay, height-wise, but
Vertical.
not width-wise.
Okay. Poor Sally Struthers. She's probably in town for some quilt convention, and
Hunk.
Yes.
she's like, man, I just need to listen to some sports talk, see what's going on with the Titans.
Well, let's talk about it.
She's over there talking to the On3 people about what's going on.
Yeah,
about
let me tell
Sally.
these kids about ICS.
Would you like to make more money? Of course, we all would.
Poor Sally.
All right.
Sorry, Sally.
I want to hear more about Tajay Spears. Can I?
Yeah,
Most
talk to
definitely.
me.
All right, run game coordinator, running backs coach Justin Alton.
Yes.
He's got a great tool set that you saw throughout the college video. He's an explosive player. They used a lot of different variations, not only in the run game and the pass game with him. It's just as much as he can handle at this point. And, you're going to go through your rookie headaches with, the learning portion of it. It's a lot of playbook to learn, but you got to give it to him in chunks and be patient with him and answer any questions that you might have for him.
Man, I can't wait to see that dude. Just keep hearing good things.
And gonna continue to hear good things because, man, the hunger in that young man. I just stopped by Gordy B in the hallway, and he was telling me about his background and what he said. Like, man, dude, I'm at this point, and I love this game, and I play this game to get my parents out of the situation that they in right now.
Wow.
So that, like,
Teron Davenport's comments where he said he's at top speed quickly. Said like a Tesla.
got to put this boy in the game. This young man.
Will Levis.
William Levis.
Apparently, there was some he probably wanted back today.
Right. He can let it rip, but there are other throws to be made.
It's definitely like the delivery changes a little bit. Like there's times when you're in that tight pocket and you really have to be compact and just be whippy and have those types of just throws that just jump out. But then when you have the time and you have the rhythm, that's when you can slow it down and you can get those balls out in a more rhythmic pace with some touch on it. And I think I've definitely gotten better at that, but it's a continuation to keep working on those types of throws.
Whippy.
Whip it real fast. Listen.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun, 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 Whippy.
Shelly.
Sally.
That's
Sally.
I just showed him a picture
Jesse.
of Sally.
Hey, so,
Was my girl?
dog, this is the thing. This is the reason why I'm going to continue to say I don't need him out there in year one
At all.
I do like
0-6 any.
I do like that the problem is dialing it back as opposed to please let it rip.
Easier to say whoa than giddy up.
Because that was the issue with Mariota.
He couldn't-
His
he couldn't get it
entire
up.
career, they wanted him to let it rip. They were telling him that his entire career here. He wasn't a bad quarterback. I'm not saying he was a bad quarterback. I'm just saying that they wanted that. Like, have the confidence to fit a ball in there.
He's a great backup.
Who?
Marcus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wait. Is he your favorite backup quarterback now?
Ooh.
Logan Woodside?
No, Logan's still my favorite.
Okay, where is Logan Woodside?
He's still with the Falcons, isn't he?
He should be.
Hey, listen, Art ain't letting Logan go.
He'd probably be a 13-year vet. I'm letting back. I love it.
Just hanging on the practice
I'll
squad.
be right there.
I mean, isn't that the greatest job ever?
What? You get pensions and everything.
Stand there, hold a clipboard.
Just hanging on. I'll get a little injury.
Like
too.
clipboard Jesus.
Logan Woodside
he held
is
the-
with the Falcons.
Yeah. He held the clipboard forever.
Yeah, Charlie Whitehurst was his name. Clipboard Jesus was his nickname.
Boy, geez.
I think, didn't he
Isn't
earn?
that a great nickname?
Yeah, he earned Clipboard Jesus nickname here, right? Yeah, I remember reading an article like later after he was done, and he was like, I never even held a clipboard.
Just sometimes you got to roll.
Hey,
with
what do I always say?
I'm like, own it, dude.
it. Yep.
Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story. Logan Woodside from Frankfort, Kentucky, right up the street.
Oh, yeah.
Played at Toledo. I worked his bowl game his senior year, I think.
This is year 6 for him.
Yeah. He's like a vet, man.
He was the MAC Offensive Player of the Year.
Yep.
2-time first team All MAC, MAC Most Valuable Player.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bengals 2018, Titans 2018, San Antonio Commanders 2019, Titans 2019 through 2022, Atlanta Falcons 2022 to present.
He was locked in, yeah.
I was sad that he was gone because that was my whole argument that I made with you guys. He knew the offense.
Yeah, he heard himself. He did. He just heard himself when he got out there.
Yeah.
He looked bad last year in the preseason.
Yeah,
Good
he did.
gracious.
He did look bad.
I know. Like his biggest thing was, hey, coach, I'm good. I don't need to go in.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to hold this clipboard over here.
I'm straight.
Yeah.
So
Let the young guys get in there.
you know what I
Don't
can
get him,
do.
Malik.
Yeah, I know the offense.
Let them mess it up.
Yeah.
Just let me sit here. So back to Will Levis. I think Buck tweeted something or talked about him not looking great today. A to Z Sports said Will Levis had an underwhelming day at Titans OTAs. Inaccurate throws, bad decision, throwing into double coverage, dropped a snap under center, all of that. And apparently showed his frustration when he did have some issues. And that goes back to my point of the emotional side of him as a player, which I get it. Some of it's competitive and you don't want a player out there that just looks like he doesn't care. Like Marcus used to be that. He would show no emotion ever.
Yeah.
You remember?
Mm-hmm.
But like in that locker room, guys were like, he is a leader. He's emotional. He cares, whatever. There's a balance to me
Right.
as far as that goes. But Mike Vrabel even talked about Will Levis's frustration today.
Yeah, we'll just payroll deduct him if he breaks all the helmets and the speakers and stuff inside. So just frustrating. I'm sure that's something that they, we talked about yesterday. and it came up here again today. So we'll have to focus on that and make sure that when 5 different guys snap to the quarterback or potentially the quarterback, everybody's going to snap it a little differently or based on the play. Center's moving in one direction. So we'll just have to make sure that that's taken care of.
Because Ray always trying to act all careful with his words. Man. Potentially the
Is he?
quarterback. Yeah, like that's going to be the quarterback. Just not this year.
40904. Tannehill, quote, isn't that bad, and Levis, quote, is a good backup. Should not instill confidence in fans. We were actually, the backup line was about Mariota.
Come on, y'all. Hey, come on, y'all. Pay attention. I know it's summertime. School's out, but pay attention, guys and girls.
Yes,
right,
I was not talking about Levis in that conversation.
We will hear from Ryan Tannehill, Titans QB1, next on 104.5 The Zone. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, that's where you need to get stocked up. By the way, today is Wednesday, which means it's Senior Day at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by the Publix. Senior Day means special discounts for seniors. Every day they honor the military discount, case discounts every day too, and Maryland Farms is perfect. Again, the location right there in Maryland Farms, easy to get in and out. Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Closed on Sundays. They do have delivery through the Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits app, and they have curbside pickup as well. Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits, locally owned, serving Brentwood for more than 17 years. MarylandFarmsWS.com is the website. If you need some information on maybe some things you haven't tried before that you might like, they'll be able to help you out based on what you tell them you do like. And I like to go in there and try new things, and they will definitely help you with that. Jason and his staff, very, very knowledgeable and courteous and all of those things. And if you'd rather just go in, get in and get out, you know what you want, they'll obviously affords you that opportunity as well. But craft beer, bourbon, tequila, vodka, great wine selection, cigars, they've got you covered at Maryland Farms Wine and Spirits. MarylandFarmsWS.com, 101 Creekside Crossing in Brentwood by the Publix. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Levis says, when the pocket is tight, you got to be whippy.
Hey, Levis may say anything.
Whip it real good.
Whippy.
Can we hear that Levis cut again on how he's trying to get used to throwing softer throws compared to Joe Milton style?
It's definitely like the delivery changes a little bit. Like there's times when you're in that tight pocket and you really have to be compact and just be whippy and have those types of just throws that just jump out. But then when you have the time and you have the rhythm, that's when you can slow it down and you can get those balls out in a more rhythmic pace with some touch on it. And I think I've definitely gotten better at that, but it's a continuation to keep working on those types of throws.
Whippy.
Okay, Whippy.
Is that your new nickname for Levis?
Big Whippy.
It's better than the last one.
Yeah.
Nathaniel.
Yeah, you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that. You got to stay clear. Steer clear.
Sometimes you got to take one step forward to take two steps back. That's not how that goes.
Paul Abdul.
Yeah.
That's not how that goes. But anyway, let's hear Vrabel again, Hunk, talking about Will Levis being frustrated, and I guess that's it.
Yeah, it would just payroll deduct him if he breaks all the helmets and the speakers and stuff inside. So just frustrating. I'm sure that's something that they, we talked about yesterday, and it came up here again today. So we'll have to focus on that and make sure that, when 5 different guys snap to the quarterback or potentially the quarterback, everybody's going to snap it a little differently or based on the play. Center's moving in one direction. So we'll just have to make sure that's taken care of.
So guarded. Didn't that feel like the principal's office, though? We'll talk to him about it again. Like this man, every time he come out the classroom, he's running up the hallway.
Repeat offender.
Keep telling him, slow down in the hallway. You can't run in the hallways. Walk to class. He just keeps continuing, coming from that 6th grade. Now he's in 7th, 8th grade. Just keep on running in the hallway.
That is funny, though. Now that you say that, I remember back in school, there was like 1 or 2 dudes that were always running in the hall. Yeah. I'm like, where are y'all going?
Yeah, you just going to class, dude.
I gotta get some
water. Like, what?
But I think they wanted to sit in the back, so they wanted to get in there fast.
Yeah.
To get that coveted back row seat.
Yeah.
So they can go to sleep.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, Levis, stay out of the principal's office, man. Come on, don't be in there breaking headsets and dude. You need
also,
those.
how much of that is real and how much are you trying to show that you're mad? I don't know.
That always worries me. Remember, I said that about when he got drafted, when screaming at the TV, "Let's go!" after you knew for 30 minutes that you were going to the Titans.
Pat Summitt.
I ain't gonna question it though.
I told you.
Pat Summitt used to get all over her players. We would be playing in Stokely, on the side goals.
Mm-hmm.
And I was surprised looking back that she would allow this to happen, but she was running practice on the main court, obviously. And she would talk about that all the time. Don't give me this false hustle.
Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing like false hustle in the world.
You ain't getting that ball. What are you doing?
Now, it can be used at times, but diving for balls that you're not about to go get. You know what I'm saying? Come on, dog. Get up.
It's like Major League. I'm telling you, every single thing.
Life
there is a quote
through Major League.
from Major League. Come on, Dorn.
Cross him off then.
Oh, we're not talking about that one?
No, not that one.
Sorry.
Roger Dorn, man.
Come on, Dorn. Don't give me that Olay. I got you, Hunk. Don't worry. You think I'm going to cuss on air?
Be so scary.
Have I ever cussed on air?
We live in life in here, huh?
Surprisingly, no.
Somehow.
Roger Dorn. God, what a movie. My man had his contract in the car. He said, I don't have to do any unnecessary calisthenics. Also, who says calisthenics? Ryan Tannehill today we were talking about this with Coach Mack about Traylon Burks' improvement from year 1 to year 2. He said, yes. I didn't even finish the sentence.
He knew exactly what it was.
Or question. But yeah, Ryan Tannehill talking about Traylon Burks improving in the offseason.
Traylon's grown a lot. I'm really excited about what I've seen from him. He's flying around. He's moving fast. He's moving efficiently. He's coming out. He's working. He's in shape. All great things. Obviously, he's been able to catch the ball and get open his whole time here. But all the little things that go along with playing the position, being able to see the field, understand the full concept as opposed to just a route, how he fits in the whole picture. all those things. And I think he's playing with a lot of confidence right now. So just want to keep him going, keep him growing. He's doing a lot of really, really good things right now. I'm really happy with his growth and want to keep pushing forward.
Yes. Give Traylon Burks a bib. You know why, Babsy? Because it's time to eat, baby. It is time to eat. This man going in this year, I'm telling y'all, after we saw last year at training camp, when he came in, couldn't breathe, and then he bounced back for, OTAs, and then bounced back for training camp and was back fit. Now he knows what it takes.
Yeah.
Man, you give him a little bit of a taste of what it's like, boom. Now you got this. Wide receiver 1. Remember, I said it.
Jeez. Slay.
Yes. I'm all in on the Traylon chain. Yes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go find me a jersey. I ain't never bought a jersey in my life. I'm gonna get that one.
Traylon Burks jersey.
I'm riding with Traylon Burks. That's right. Like him.
Wide receiver 1.
WR1.
Ryan Tannehill talking about the importance it is, and I guess the benefit it is, show up at OTAs.
Yeah, I think it's standard, but I think more obviously just everyone's learning something new. So a little more growing pains at this time of year, only being 5 practices into a new offense, right? And it's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's going to go into training camp as well. So we just want to limit that and shorten that as much as we can. All get on the same page and keep pushing ourselves forward. If we can get through this earlier on by having most of our guys here and being able to work through some of these things in the spring, it's really going to help us in the fall move forward.
QB1 with things to say about Tim Kelly and the way this is written. I'll just read it. Tim Kelly's done. Excuse me.
You're right.
Tim Kelly's done a great job at calling the right plays so far. That's good.
Tim's done a great job of allowing us to try to get in a good play. We want to run efficient plays. Want to be positive whenever we can. Sometimes defense makes a good call and you get stuck in a bad play, but we want to try to limit those situations where we're running a play into a bad look. So some of that's on the quarterback, some of that's on the blocking schemes and the players executing it, but it all works together.
Can we go back and hear that again?
I'm sorry. Slay and I had the exact same reaction at the exact same time.
Did.
Play it again.
Let the church say amen.
Tim's done a great job of allowing us to try to get in a good play. We want to run efficient plays, want to be positive whenever we can. Sometimes defense makes a good call and you get stuck in a bad play, but we want to try to limit those situations where we're running a play into a bad look. So some of that's on the quarterback, some of that's on the blocking schemes and the players executing it, but it all works together.
And what he really wanted to say was not the last part.
Well, clearly.
Like he felt like he had to add some of that's on me, some of it's on the blocking scheme.
Clearly he had no audible ability last year.
None. And we're saying when we come to the sideline, hey, Todd, this isn't working. Well, let's run it again. It'll work the next time. Like, no.
Hey, Todd, why are you so predictable?
Dude.
Are you talking to Todd Furman?
Yeah, him too. Because he's predictable too.
Todd Furman is way less predictable than Todd Downing.
Speak for yourself, Babsy. I got him down like a book. Yeah, I know every move he gonna make. If I was playing him in chess or checkers, he'd lose.
Todd Furman is on the phone.
Do I get a chance to defend myself? I don't even know how to play chess, so there's no doubt Slay would be able to beat me like a rented goalie in a variety of capacities. Checkers, I might be able to hold my own, at least until I got really bored about 5 minutes into the match.
Hey, real quick, as a hockey guy, what do you think about the Andrew Brunette hiring for the Predators?
I think it's interesting on a variety of fronts, and here's why. I'm not sure exactly what was going on behind the scenes and how things were discussed between Barry Trotz and, of course, John Hines in that particular side. But the thing about Andrew Burnett, we've only seen a limited sample size when he took over in Florida, and it was a lot more offensive-minded hockey than what Barry Trotz has ever really put his stamp of approval on in the past.
Right.
Now, what's interesting about that is there's obviously a connection between them. Burnett scored the first goal in Pred's history while he was playing for Barry Trotz. So I'm curious to see if they're going to adopt the Islanders' philosophy with a focus on defense and goaltending, or if Andrew Burnett is going to try and get this team to be a little bit more run and gun like we saw in Florida with the personnel. So it should be fascinating to see unfold. Obviously, addressing some of their major roster holes will be the next biggest question there. But I was surprised to see them part ways with John Hines, knowing that he had a year left on his contract, and the fact that the players that they called up fought tooth and nail until the bitter end to try and make the playoffs.
Definitely true. And, it's funny, Don we had him on today, and Don asked him about his offensive philosophy, and he kind of was careful in how he had answered that question. I think it's because of what you said about Barry Trotz's defensive mindset, because remember, he was like, yeah, I definitely lean to that side of the ball, to that side of the ice, but hockey's a two-way game. And he immediately started talking about defense.
They're going to have to figure a lot of things out because everywhere Barry Trotz has been, granted he's won at the highest levels, it's been with a defense-first approach. But there were glimpses of what they could do offensively when he was in Washington, so maybe it's a little bit more of a hybrid style than the complete defensive posturing that the Islanders took over the last couple of years. But to Trotz's credit, he got him into the Eastern Conference Finals. They just ran into that Tampa Bay Lightning buzzsaw in the past.
Well, Todd Father, since we're talking hockey, let's dive into this a little bit because I feel like I know what you're gonna say. You got Vegas and you got the Florida Panthers gonna face off. I feel like you're gonna say you're gonna roll with Florida because you don't want to bet with Vegas, But maybe now you might feel like you're gonna jinx them or something. But hey, who knows, man? Are you riding with Florida?
Hey, look, this is a team I've been wrong on for quite some time with Vegas. I bet them during the All-Star break to miss the playoffs at a price of 3-1. So did I think they were going to have a chance to win the Stanley Cup then? No, obviously not. And the effort that we saw in Game 6 to kind of dispatch the Stars, shows how capable and potent this team can be when they get all aspects of their game going in the right direction. But as far as numbers here, Slay, for me, I actually arrived at a series price very close to the betting market, so I don't have strong convictions either way. For me, I have a strong lean towards Vegas, though, in Game 1. I think the layoff could prove to be a little bit problematic for Florida. And you may not see that same level of desperation from the Panthers, knowing that they're starting this series on the road. Now, that being said, they did have an extended layoff after knocking off the Maple Leafs before they took on the Hurricanes and didn't really miss a beat and were able to outlast them in Game 1. But I would look at Vegas more so for Game 1. And typically in the Stanley Cup playoffs, not just the Cup final, you'll get better value when the market overreacts or underreacts the deeper we get into the series.
Okay, I'll wait.
There's no chance you're going to wait. You're going to have three legs tied into a parsley on Saturday. But it's cute you're going to tell me that you're practicing discipline all of a sudden just to make me happy for the 12 minutes of quality time we spend together each week.
You're absolutely right.
So do you bet, Todd Furman, Bet the Board podcast with us. Todd, do you bet these game by game? Do you bet the series also? How do you pull this apart?
For me, unless I see something grossly mispriced, I typically shy away from series bets, and the main reason for that is so much can change. So if I can identify an opportunity over the course of a 60-minute sample size, I'm going to take full advantage. And in this particular instance, the Game 1 number is very similar to what you'll see for the series. So my mindset is, look, if I thought that Vegas was the team that I wanted to bet for the series, I'd be more inclined to bet them in Game 1 if they lost, then to come over the top and bet them for a series at a slightly better price. I know there are a lot of people out there that will attack with math models and they want to give themselves more outs. But for me, I look at the market. It's given me a couple of opportunities. If I like Florida for the series, but I don't necessarily like them for Game 1, look, I'll wait on the sidelines, see how Game 1 goes, and may have an opportunity to jump in a little bit further down the road.
Want to go over to the NBA?
I would love to, since they haven't had me back on Bet the Board. Yes, I would love to hear what they want to say about the NBA. You got the Miami Heat and the Denver Nuggets. What you got? Tom?
Look, Slay, we're too busy in college football nirvana right now to cover the NBA playoffs and the NBA finals and such. Deep dives of the powerhouses in the directional Michigan schools is a little bit much for me. So that's what's preoccupied my time of late. But for the NBA finals, you look at the price here, and I think it's real interesting because obviously the Denver Nuggets being given a ton of respect, some of the comments that you saw from coaches and the players they went up against during the Western Conference, more or less calling this team a well-oiled machine, and we've seen a variety of ways that they can go out there and win. in terms of locking you down defensively, something that they hadn't shown in the past, or being able to outscore you. When you look at Denver, though, as an 8.5, 9-point favorite in Game 1, you're seeing them substantially shorter in the betting markets for the odds to win the series at right around $4, compared to the Celtics that were priced the same way in Game 1 that were right around a 1-6 favorite. So a lot of people enamored with the Heat, and you can understand why. They've been a great Cinderella story. But I actually think there's value on betting Denver to win the series at minus $4. I know it's a little bit juicy for people to try and tangle with, so there are some books out there that allow you to essentially parlay Denver to win Game 1 with them to go on and win the series at prices about half that, in that minus $2, minus 220 range. And I just think the Heat are in for it for Game 1 as far as the very quick turnaround, playing at altitude, knowing that they didn't look like a bunch that was at 100%, despite the way that they were able to completely clamp down on Boston from the perimeter.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like it, Todd. Pretty good right there.
What's going on in the NASCAR world, Todd?
We're an inch closer to the big race in your guys' neck of the woods. This weekend, we head out to St. Louis. The Coke 600 obviously ended up going on Monday, and it felt like for the 400th time this year, I end up with a car in second and third place in terms of my outright betting. But no one's going to listen to me crying over spilled milk in any capacity there. Familiar names atop the list as favorites, with Kyle Larson and William Byron, the only two drivers priced less than 10-1, but some interesting dynamics in place here. They're using a little bit of a different aerodynamic package and a tire compound this weekend than what we saw at this racetrack last year. So for me, early value in Kyle Busch right around 18-1, but not a full investment by any stretch. Want to see practice and qualifying, and we can only hope that Mother Nature complies with our wishes on the Cup Series for Sunday.
Bet the Board podcast, rate, review, subscribe. Thank you, Todd. Good stuff, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Todd.
Always a pleasure, guys, and enjoy the opening round of the College World Series Regionals this weekend. We'll see if Tennessee and Vandy get playing into the Supers.
Yep, at Todd Furman on Twitter. Thank you, Todd. We'll talk about that next in terms of the SEC domination in these regionals. We've got that for you. Where's Vandy? Where's Tennessee? Where's Lipscomb? We've got it. 3HL 1045 The Zone.
Two things are certain in life, and that is death and taxes, right? Well, guess what? The law office of Charles Frazier, Attorney Frazier, he can help you with both of those things. Estate planning, they focus on that, and they also focus on tax resolution, tax law. The offices of Charles Frazier can help you out. Maybe you're a small business owner and you have some IRS or some tax issues, and you need them resolved. Well, you've got to call Charles Frazier, because a lot of people think, oh my gosh, I'm in too deep. It's not going to be fixed, and they're frozen in fear because that's what the IRS does. But guess what? There is a way forward, and the law offices of Charles Frazier can help you to find this. Now, there are owners that come in and talk to Attorney Frazier, and they don't end up not needing his help. They figure out how they can resolve the issues on their own. For others, his expert services are required. If you're one of them, go to Frazier.law. You can hear for yourself the testimonials from satisfied clients. That's FRAZIER.law. Or just call him. Call Attorney Frazier. You can schedule your consultation, and you will meet with Charles Frazier. 615-510-4000. He wants to help you. You need tax resolution. Law offices of Charles Frazier. That's who you need to call. 615-510-4000.